The Utah Jazz are currently sitting at the top of the NBA with a record of 20-5, but the question is, are they actually championship contenders? Hey yo, what's good with y'all? My name is Will and welcome back to Will So Trail Hoops. In today's video, I'm talking about the Utah Jazz and how they can be legitimate contenders in the Western Conference this season. If you like basketball, this is the channel for you. Feel free to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a banger video, but let's get into it. So at the time this video was posted, the Utah Jazz are set to play the Milwaukee Bucks in a few hours, as they currently have the best record in the NBA at 20-5 with the Lakers right behind them. The Jazz have been on fire this season. After they started 4-4, they've won 16 of their last 17 games, including their last win against Boston, which was very impressive. They turned it up in the fourth quarter, but the 20-5 start has tied a franchise record for the best start in franchise history. However, don't think that they're getting content with that just yet. As Donovan Mitchell said himself, our mind is stuck on the championship. Last season in the bubble, the Jazz took a 3-1 lead in the first round of the playoffs over the Denver Nuggets, and I'm sure you all remember how that played out. It didn't go so well from there. However, they did show flashes of what they are capable of, with Donovan Mitchell showing what he can really do, averaging 36 points per game during the series on insane shooting numbers. He was incredible during this series, dropping two 50-point games, one of those being 51 points and the other being 57 points, the third most points ever scored in a playoff game. But the Jazz were short on personnel during this series. We can't forget that. This was not even the team at their best, as Bojan Bogdanovic missed all 7 games and Mike Conley missed 2 games for the Jazz as well. Not having Bojan for the entire series was a big loss for Utah. He was a 20-point per game scorer for them last season. So what we saw last year from the Jazz wasn't even close to what they are fully capable of, and this season is a prime example of that because they have gotten even better. The Utah Jazz are averaging 114.6 points per game, which is 5th in the NBA currently, but their defense is their specialty, as they are only giving up 105.8 points per game, and that is the 3rd best in the NBA. They're forcing opposing teams to shoot 43.9% from the field a night, which again is the 3rd lowest mark in the NBA. They've always been very good on defense though. The difference maker in what they've been able to do this season is how much better they have been playing on offense. They have been shooting lights out from behind the 3-point line at 40.2% from 3, and they lead the NBA in 3-point makes per game with 17. But many times when they do miss, it's all good because they are averaging 11.3 offensive rebounds per game. So statistically, you can see why Utah is doing so well this year. Not only do they have a top 3 defense in the NBA, but their offense has been incredibly efficient. The changes that Quin Snyder has made to his offensive philosophy has truly been a game changer for the Utah Jazz this season. They are shooting more 3-point shots than ever, and they are not bad shots either, keeping 4 shooters out there at pretty much all times. Snyder definitely has to be the early favorite for Coach of the Year, but they're consistently getting quality looks from 3, and as of now, they are knocking them down at a scary rate. So scary that you would think that shooting numbers this good have to be a fluke. 17 made threes a game on a percentage of over 40. Of course, getting quality looks from 3 like they've been doing definitely helps, but one thing I will say about teams like this, if you live by the 3, you can't die by the 3. If they go cold offensively, they are in big trouble, which goes for anyone. But the thing is, the Jazz still have that top 3 defense that can keep them in games even when they're cold. Which brings me to talk about Rudy Gobert. He could win his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award this season, and that's because he's still doing what he does best. Y'all know that badge in 2K, Intimidator? Rudy Gobert has this badge on diamond in real life. There's only a select few of players that have the confidence to try him at the basket. Many times you'll see someone drive inside, Gobert meets them in the paint, and they either try to score and get their shot sent, their shot is completely altered and they miss, they get jammed up and stuck at the rim, or they try passing out. His impact at the rim is insane. I remember seeing a play where someone drove in, but when Gobert stepped up to them, they quickly passed out and Donovan Mitchell closed that passing lane off and stole it. That's the impact I'm talking about. He is intimidating and he is forcing opposing players to make mistakes. It would have been better for him to take this layup, but instead he tried to pass out because he knows what Rudy Gobert does, even though that passing lane was nowhere near open. Gobert holds down this defense. The guys up top, guarding the perimeter, know that if they get beat on the drive, it's fine because Gobert is going to have the paint completely locked down. He owns it. So the perimeter defenders can focus more on taking away any outside shots as they are confident in their big man, making sure no easy baskets are given up at the rim. I love watching this team play defense. Something I also wanted to point out though has been Mike Conley's improvement this year. Last season, he played a lot worse than we all expected out of him. He was just not himself, putting up 14 points per game on just 41% shooting. However, this season he has been playing so much better. He's putting up 16 points per game on 45% shooting along with a career high 41% from 3. He is playing so much better this season, and without a doubt, that is contributing a lot to the success of this team. I thought the Jazz were going to be better last year because of that acquisition, but he did not have a good season, and this year, it's been much different. The bench has been doing their thing too. This unit has Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson, who are both 6th Man of the Year candidates. I think it's going to end up being Jordan Clarkson because he has been on fire this season. He's averaging 17 a game off the bench. But also, Derek Favors is back in Utah as their backup center for when Rudy is out. He's not going to do much for you aside from the dirty work like rebounded, which by the way, he averages 2 offensive rebounds per game. And also defense inside. He plays his role and that is exactly what Utah asked him to do. The scoring off that bench unit is what Ingles and Clarkson are there for. The only weaknesses on this team that I can see is a lack of star power in comparison to the Clippers and the Lakers, and also perimeter defense against those teams. Royce O'Neal is solid, but they're going to have to deal with LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George if they want to make the NBA Finals. So we return to the initial question of the video. Is this Utah Jazz team actually a contender in the West? Yes. As long as they stay healthy, this team is going to be a dark horse contender. The reason I say dark horse, damn near everybody's going to predict the Lakers and the Clippers to make it out of the West. But the Jazz will give these teams issues and they could potentially end up taking them down in a 7-game series. There is no team in the NBA right now that is flawless or unbeatable. Every team has its flaws. Even that stacked Brooklyn Nets team, their defense sucks. So trust me, they got flaws. So if the Jazz make a big run in the 2021 playoffs, do not be surprised. And I'll say right now, I'm rooting for Utah. As a Bulls fan, obviously I have no horse in this motherfucking race. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Donovan Mitchell and I would love to see this team succeed. But that's all for today, man. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the Jazz in the comments. If you're new, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of my banger basketball videos. But I'll see you on the next video, and remember, keep on hooping.